Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to PW Coach and Women in Science new podcast. This week we are going to discuss Meghan and Harry interview.
Having seen the interview, what were your first impressions and thoughts?
Well, my first impression, I was very shocked to be honest. I really saw this as a bomb. And then I was a little bit puzzled, and eventually I wasn't so surprised. Isn't this the classical way to communicate between the royals, amongst the royals? I mean, we all remember Diana, and Harry seems to be doing the same here. There seems to be a serious communication issue within the firm that they have to use the media to discuss their issues. So nothing so surprising to me.
So, why do you think that Harry and Meghan chose to give this interview? Because normally they get reported on, but now they chose to give the interview. Why? And why now?
Well, frankly, I believe they wanted to trigger a change. Contrary to what most people think in Europe, especially in the UK, I do not see this interview as a really petty revenge between, family members and in-laws. Not at all. I truly believe, and what is actually comforting my thought and this idea is that they choose Oprah Winfrey to give the interview, and we all know she's a very big activist when it comes to diversity and inclusiveness and inclusiveness and discrimination. And therefore, I do believe they wanted to address two fundamental issues. One of them being, of course, the racial issue and discrimination in the UK. And that is the reality, And the second one being really the role and the importance of the tabloid in the UK that can be really frightening at times, actually. And they also can play such a role of manipulating the public opinion and being such a bullies at times, spreading lies and founded rumors. And I think this can be very dangerous as it can totally damage people's life, but it can also be very damaging to the democracy itself.
And even to the members of the royal family.
Absolutely. And Harry highlighted that and stressed out this point very, very well.
And so the interview has been given. There has been a lot of international attention for this interview. And so, what are the next steps, you think?
Well, what next? Well, of course, continue the discussion and continue to address the discrimination and the racial issues in the UK on a more general level and work toward altogether, I suppose, toward a very inclusive, diverse, and inclusive society. Also, when it comes to the tabloid and to the press, I think it's very important that we bring back some ethic there, and that maybe I don't know, we could use some ethic committee that could basically bring back values such as integrity, respect, and honesty within the press system and the tabloids, and that if they breach that those values and don't comply, there could be some serious consequences and action should be taken.
And what about the royal family itself?
Well, the royal family, I truly believe that they should really reflect on what happened and why Meghan and Harry decided to give this interview. They should really try to communicate amongst each other, and they should really open the dialogue. So that could be really a big learning again, because this is not the first time. As I already mentioned it, I mean, we remember Diana and Sarah Ferguson. Now is Harry doing the same? So it seems that there is really, really little communication possible, and that there is no other alternatives for the family members that would like to address their issues. And finally, maybe it's the time to modernize. Maybe this will be as an electroshock, and it's time for them to modernize, to open up a little bit more, and to embrace as well diversity and work toward inclusiveness as well. So therefore, they can have a more inclusive society as well, and a more sustainable society.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much. I hope we meet again next week for our next podcast. Goodbye.